Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of my review show. Now, I was hoping to get this episode out by Christmas time, but due to the holiday rush and my laziness, I wasn't able to do it. But the Christmas tree is still up, and we're here now, so let's take a look at Batman Returns. Now, I remember this being one of the earliest movies I wanted to see in theaters as a kid. But unfortunately, it was rated 13 plus here in Quebec, and my parents thought that meant you had to be over 13 to go see it in theaters, so I never went out to see it. But I did get it on VHS for my birthday that year, and now I have it on the Warner Brothers 4-pack DVD.
This movie is, for lack of a better word, weird. While it wasn't as apparent in Batman, this movie is obviously a Tim Burton film. It has more grandiose sets, even more ridiculous situations, pale-skinned characters, and even Danny Elfman's score sounds much more Burton-esque. And we get this treatment right from the beginning with the Penguin's origins. Oswald Cobblepot was the son of rich parents, but unfortunately he was born deformed with only 3 fingers. He also has an appetite for cats. His parents are unable to live with the shame, so, just like an unwanted prom baby, they dump him into the river. Eventually he reaches some penguins who become his new family. We flash forward 33 years in the future to the boardroom of Max Shreck, played by legendary Christopher Walken, who's pushing for a new power plant in Gotham City. We also meet Selina Kyle, Shrek's shy, confidence-lacking secretary, played by Michelle Pfeiffer.
I have a suggestion.
How dare she speak at a meeting of important men?
In the plus column, though, she makes a hell of a cup of coffee.
At the lighting of the tree ceremony, the Penguin sends his henchmen out to attack. Commissioner Gordon doesn't even bother trying to stop the crime, and just calls for Batman right away. Batman arrives and starts showing off his new gadgets. It seems that his taste for blood hasn't gone away as he kills at least 3 henchmen during the fight. In the end, this entire attack was just a ploy to get Shreck to the Penguin, a plan that could have failed at any moment if Shreck had taken a different direction. Could they have done something simpler like grab him in the middle of the night? The Penguin wants Shreck's help in order to live a life on the surface and to be accepted by the people of Gotham City. Their plan is to, get this, have a clown kidnap the mayor's baby, have the Penguin rescue the baby, and then rise heroically from the sewers. Are the citizens of Gotham that stupid? Nobody sees that this is staged? Hell, Shreck is even posing for a picture like it's the most natural thing ever. Shreck, though, has his own agenda. He wants to install the Penguin as mayor of Gotham City, so that way he'd have a puppet in office and help him build his power plant. And he gets the Penguin to agree to this by offering him
Wait, did I hear that right?
the Penguin is actually quite the horn dog.
I'd like to fill her void. Teach her my French flipper trick. And you're the hottest young person a role model could have.
Catwoman's story arc also closely follows Shreck. One night while working late, Selina Kyle stumbles upon some secret files that reveal that Shreck's power plant will actually be sucking and storing power rather than producing it. Of course, this makes absolutely no sense, but just go with it. Like a ditz, she blathers the whole thing to her boss, and he's not really happy about it.
I even opened the protected files, and
How industrious. How did you open protected files?
I mean, it's not like you can just kill me.
Actually, it's a lot like that. Huh? Huh?
Okay.
So Selina apparently dies, but a whole bunch of cats come out of nowhere and start biting her and licking her, and that somehow brings her back to life.
This is a Tim Burton movie. It's probably going to be the least weird thing you're going to see.
When Selina gets home, she finally snaps and starts wrecking her apartment, destroying her cutesy things, and making the Catwoman costume. While the scene is a little bit over the top, it works well in showcasing her transformation and her unleashing her dark side. In fact, there's a very similar scene to this in The Black Swan. Batman, on the other hand, hasn't done much of anything so far.
The 80s and 90s Batman movies were more about the villains than they were about Batman. They were always made out to be the most colorful and interesting characters of the entire films.
He doesn't really fit in much into the story until he meets Selina Kyle, and wow, she got sexy. He instantly goes from cool and collected to a walking hard-on, a trait he maintains every time he sees her until the end of the movie. They end up forming a romance, both as Bruce Wayne and as Batman and Catwoman.
She was the only solid love interest for Batman in the entire series. All the other women had no personality and were a total bore.
Back to the story. The Penguin is trying to force the mayor to be recalled. In order to do this, he sends his goons out in the street to cause havoc, which Batman is stopping. Here we get to see Batman blow somebody up and grin while it happens. Wow, is there no end to his murder spree? Batman, the Penguin, and Catwoman have an explosive first encounter.
Meow.
The Penguin ends up flying away.
No. I'll get to the ridiculousness. Don't worry.
While in the meantime, Batman and Catwoman have a little tussle on the rooftops. Penguin and Catwoman meet and come up with a plan to frame Batman. This plan involves kidnapping the Ice Princess with a Batarang, hacking into the Batmobile so that they can control it, and making it look like Batman has killed the Ice Princess. This plan somehow works because A, the citizens of Gotham are total tools. I mean, some guy says he saw it was Batman from the top of that building. That's impossible to tell who it is from that height. And B, he decides to glide menacingly over Gotham after the fact. Great way to argue your case there, old Batsy. Batman gets to the Batmobile, but Penguin takes control and has the vehicle drive through the crowd. Batman finds the controlling device and punches through the floor of the Batmobile to take it out. While trying to escape the cops, he activates a function in the Batmobile that break away the sides and shrink the Batmobile down so that it can fit into a tight corner. I don't know why anybody would ever think of this idea, but clearly Batman thinks of everything. Later on when he gets home, some old repressed anger comes out on Alfred.
It's not as though we can take it to any old Joe's body shop, is it, sir?
Security? Who let Vicky Vale into the Batcave? I'm sitting there working and I turn around, there she is. Oh, hi Vic, come on in.
Whoa! Bruce is still pissed off about this after all these years? Come to think of it, I'd still be pretty pissed off too.
Bruce and Alfred jam the Penguin's signal so that the citizens of Gotham know exactly how the Penguin really thinks of them. They're really pissed off about this, and they drive him all the way back to the sewers. Free of the burden of trying to get people to like him, the Penguin decides to enact his real master plan, which involves kidnapping and drowning children in the sewer.
Penguin? I mean, killing sleeping children, isn't that a little,
The clown speaks for all of us.
Since there aren't any actual police officers that seem to work in Gotham City, the clowns are able to snatch the children in the middle of the night, until Batman arrives and stops them. Foiled again, the Penguin comes up with his final plan, strapping rockets to penguins and mind-controlling them to blow up Gotham City.
Rather than complaining about everything that's happened in this movie, I'm just going to give you a top 9 of the Penguin's most ridiculous machines.
Number 9, Knife Umbrella. Number 8, Machine Gun Umbrella. Number 7, Flamethrower Umbrella. Number 6, Amphibious Duck. Number 5, Mini Penguin Rockets. Number 4, Batmobile Hacker. Number 3, Remote Batmobile Controller. Number 2, Flying Umbrella. And number 1, Penguin Mind Control. Anyway, Batman again magically jams their signal and sends them back to the Penguin. This leads us to a showdown between Batman and the Penguin that ends with all the rockets being fired at the Penguin's lair, and the Penguin falling through the glass. Catwoman shows up to try to kill Shrek while Batman tries to stop him since any killing he's not involved in is wrong, but he fails and they both apparently die. Well, Shrek definitely died. The Penguin rises from his watery fall, but dies soon thereafter. The movie ends very much like the first one, but this time we see that Catwoman is still alive. Despite all the negative things I pointed out, I actually like this movie. Michelle Pfeiffer brings the right amount of sexiness and toughness to Catwoman that is needed. Danny DeVito, on the other hand, is a little bit too over the top in my opinion for the Penguin. In this movie he acts more like a raving maniac than he should be. I always thought the Penguin should be more like a cold, calculating mob boss than a horny fishman. The true villain of the movie is Max Schreck. It's his actions that either encourage or piss off the Penguin and Catwoman enough to do what they do. He does a good job in this, but for the most part, it's just Christopher Walken being Christopher Walken. Michael Keaton once again does a decent job as Batman, actually bringing a bit more depth to the character, and the fighting style improves a bit too.
Overanalyze this movie way too much for a summer blockbuster. I have a lot more things to say, but better have too much to say than not enough. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'll see you next time.